video is for a beginner soccer player to help them work on their dribbling skills. The goal of the video is to show how to effectively practice dribbling so that then they can improve in their dribbling skills.
We will be applying Gentile's taxonomy to this motor skill. As the difficulty progresses, practice variability and CI will be introduced to help the performer learn. It is also important to focus on the external cues of verbal instruction during practice.
We're going to start off with a drill that's a little bit easier, starting by dribbling standing still. This will fall into the 1B category of Gentile's taxonomy. It's a little bit easier way to start off practice. So first, just practice going back and forth dribbling with one foot. And try to keep the ball controlled. Do this for about a minute. And then move on to doing it with 2 feet.
Once you're able to do both drills for about 2 minutes each, you can increase CI by switching back and forth between dribbling with 1 foot and then dribbling with 2 feet. An effective verbal cue would be to keep your shoes directly underneath you.
To review, this drill involved dribbling in place. This drill falls under the 1B category of Gentile's taxonomy. The variable skills consist of dribbling with 1 foot, then with 2 feet. We increase CI by switching between the two skills after every 10 dribbles. A phrase like, keep your shoes directly under you, is a helpful external cue of attention.
Right, now we're going to move on to a little bit harder drill. We're going to be moving while we're dribbling. This is now going to be in the 1D category of Gentile's taxonomy, so it's making things a little bit harder. And there are 3 types of moving and dribbling that we're going to work on.
First, we're going to work on dribbling and moving with 2 feet. Now we're going to move on to dribbling with 1 foot and moving while you're doing it. The last thing we're going to practice is a dribbling with the outside of 1 foot.
Once you get the feel of those 3 different types of dribbling down, we're going to increase CI by having serial practice with these drills. So what you do is set up 2 cones, and you dribble between the cones, and each time you turn around, you're going to do another type of dribble. So you would dribble with 2 feet going one way, and then 1 foot coming back, and then just the outside of your foot, and then continue that series.
Remember, external verbal cues are very important during the learner's performance. Some helpful phrases would be like, look at the ball, or keep the ball in front of you.
To increase CI again, you can do random practice. So for this, the player would just be dribbling around in a space, and their coach would be calling out which type of dribble they should do.
Dribble with 2 feet. Dribble with 1 foot. Make sure to keep the ball out in front of you. Dribble with the outside of your foot. Dribble with 1 foot. Look at the ball. Good.
Again, here's a summary of the drill. Because the learner is now required to move and dribble the soccer ball at the same time, it falls under the 1D category of Gentile's taxonomy. To increase variability, the learner has to dribble 3 different ways, with 2 feet, then with 1 foot, and finally with the outside of 1 foot. To increase CI, we will start off with block practice, move on to serial practice, and finish the drill with random practice. Verbal instructions such as look at the ball or keep the ball in front of you will help the learner focus his or her attention at the skill.
Alright, our last drill to increase the difficulty on Gentile's taxonomy is going to be dribbling around a defender. So this will be in the 3D category. This just makes things a little bit harder and more like a game situation. for this drill, to increase CI as you go along, start out by doing block practice. So do 5 trials of each type of dribbling, and then change that to serial practice, where you do one with 2 feet, one with 1 foot, one with outside of your foot, and then do that series for about 5 times. And then, to increase CI even more, go to random practice, where the coach calls out which type of dribble you're going to need to do to get around the defender.
The final drill involves dribbling around a defender. This is in the 3D category of Gentile's taxonomy. Again, we increase CI by starting off with block practice, then using serial practice, and finally random practice. We can use phrases like focus on the ball or look at the space on the field to help the learner perform better.
If you want to be able to assess how the player is doing during practice to see if they're learning, the best thing to do would be, before they even start practice, time their dribbling between 2 cones to see how they do and how long it takes them, and then do that same test again after practice and see if they improve or not as far as their control and their timing. And then if you want to do a transfer test, you can set up a series of cones that they have to dribble between after you've done the practice and see how well they do on that.